I'm admitting wrong, there wasn't a chair. I sat on the rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. Okay, so that's basically the song. Hi Ron, by the way, I've just let you in and we've started the lesson, but welcome. And we're doing Norwegian wood, and hopefully you've got the sheet printed off. So, yeah, as Tony mentioned, I think it's in E. I'd have to double check that, but I think it's in E with a capo on the 2nd fret. But for this lesson, I'm teaching it in D. So if you wanted to play along with the record, I think you've got to just stick a capo on the 2nd fret. It's in D, and I'll run through the riff for you first, just so everyone's got the fingering. So if you hold down a D, first finger, 2nd fret of the G, 2nd finger, top E, and your 3rd finger's on the B string, playing a D. And I'm using a plectrum. I've just listened to the record again, and I'm pretty sure John Lennon's using a pretty lightweight plectrum, but I'm using this pick. And the kind of strumming technique goes down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. That's the kind of vibe. Down. So that's the kind of feel. 1, 2, 3. It's almost like a 6/8 feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So it's like a 6/8 kind of time. And now I'll just show you the fingering. So we go down. Forget about the down up downs for now. We're just going to look at the actual melody line that Tony, you played, and I know Hein can play as well. So we just go. We play a normal D. And then with your pinky, you need to come around onto the 4th fret of the G, and then it's a downstroke. So the important note to pick would be the G 4th fret. You can let the pick fall through to the next strings if you like. You don't have to. Okay, so you're going 4th fret, off, open. So we're going from the 4th fret of the G to the 2nd fret of the G to the open G. Okay, so pick, 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 pick. So pick, 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 pick. And then you've got to stretch your pinky to the D string and play the 4th fret. So altogether those 4 notes are or down, 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 down. They're all downstrokes at that point, so. Okay, so that's the first bit. I will get to the strumming in a bit, how to fit that in, but. So that's the first bit. Okay, the next bit, so what we're doing, if you've got the tab there in front of you, you'll see it's 2nd fret of the D string, open G, so pick the 2nd fret of the D, then pick the open G, then the 4th fret of the D, that's the important one. I think Hein, you were playing the 3rd fret at that point, I think, and then open D, so 2 on the D, open G, 4 on the D, kind of anchoring there. They don't move at all until the very end of the progression. So together, okay, and the last little bit goes, this is when you can take the first two fingers off, or your second finger off for sure, and you want to come and play a kind of, this third finger needs to stay in place, that's an anchor throughout the whole piece, and it's just a kind of, you play the A string, and then you want to pick the open G, then run down the A string, 2nd fret, and then back to D, like that. Okay, so 3rd fret, hit, 2nd fret, D. And again, so 3rd fret, hit, 2nd fret, then hit a D. Okay. Just gonna turn my mic down a touch because it's peaking out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. I might do that even slower for some of you who are struggling a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and again, 2, Okay, so now, of course, if you're still struggling to get that, you're just going to have to sit there and practice for an hour or so. But if you've got that, Tony was asking about the strum. So I'll teach you how to fit that in, and then I'll tell you what John Lennon's doing, because it's slightly different. But it's worth learning it this way, because if you learn it this way, you can play it the other way. So if you go down, down, up, down, okay, so hit, that's the 5, so down, down, up, down. So obviously that first hit is that melody note. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. So that first note, that first hit, is the melody note. Now, throughout the piece, there are gaps, and all you've got to do in those gaps is go down, up, down. So it goes, I, down, up, down, once had a girl, down, up, down, or should I say, down, up, down, she once had me, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Down, up, down. Okay, so that's what you've got to do, and I'll play it through really, really slow, so anyone that's still struggling can keep up. And okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I down, up, down. Once had a girl down, up, down. Or should I say down, up, down. She once had me. She showed me her room. Isn't it good? Down, up, down. Norwegian wood. Okay, I'm gonna slow it down even further because maybe that was a bit quick. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. I once had a girl, or should I say down, up, down. She once had me. She showed me her room. Isn't it good? Down, up, down. Norwegian wood. One more time. Okay, so that's basically it, and hopefully you've got it together now and you can play along with me. Otherwise, it's just a sit-down practice job for a while. So I'll just show you the chords for the chorus, and then we'll go back and look at exactly what John Lennon does, because it's a little bit different. But okay, so the chorus chords are it goes to D minor. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So it's just first finger, top E string, second finger on the second fret of the G, your third finger is on the third fret of the B. And really you want to be strumming the chord from the D string. It doesn't matter if you touch the A string, but you want to be aiming for that D in a way, or gently touching the A. And again, on the chorus, it's just that same kind of vibe. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. Goes to a G. I'm playing it like that. You could play it as a D like this as well. I'm not 100% sure what John Lennon does at that point. I'd have to double check. It's quite quiet in the mix, his guitar at some points like this. There's a sitar going on, obviously, that George Harrison is playing. So D minor, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She asked me to stay and she told me we're going to G to sit anywhere. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Back to D minor. I looked around. I noticed to E minor there wasn't a chair. To A. So E minor is just like an E chord with your first finger off. Just covering the second fret of the A and the second fret of the D. And then to an A, which is second fret of the D, second fret of the B, G, second fret of the B. Okay, so we'll run through that chorus again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She asked me to stay and she told me going to G to sit anywhere. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to D minor. I looked around and I noticed going to E minor there wasn't a chair. A, then back into it. Okay, so it's at this point, I'll just talk about what John Lennon does, because I listened to the recording just before we did this lesson, and I realised that he misses out the down of the down up down. He goes, okay, so that's basically it. So you go down, up, down, up, down. He kind of hints at the down, up, down, but he kind of misses it out the down most of the time. There might be a couple of times he catches the down. So, but generally it's a kind of... Okay, so it's kind of a bit lazy, kind of a bit kind of cool and free and an easy vibe going on, which is normal for John Lennon, I guess. So there are a couple of other things that you can do with it. So you can go... So you notice I'm doing them as hammer-ons. Do all this bit normally, but this one... So it's a kind of... It's like a hammer on the second fret. Open G, and then hammer onto the D chord, like that. You can also hammer on that rundown on the C. I'm pretty sure he's doing that a lot of the time. Not all the time, but sometimes he does it. Actually there he loops the line on the guitar. When they're singing it, the lyrics go, I once had a girl, or should I say she once had me. So he kind of loops that. He does that twice, that rundown, and the sitar joins him as well. So it's kind of a little hook on the guitar. So we'll try that through. We'll play the first two lines of the verse with that extra little hook going on, and I'll play it slow, so everyone can try and keep up. So we'll play through the melody twice, and then I'll sing it twice. And remember, while we're singing it, there's that little hook. There's the and then we'll go into the chorus. Why not? I'll just sing it all. I'll sing through the first half of the song, basically the intro of two melody pieces, then sing through the verse into the chorus. Okay, so 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I once had a girl, or should I say she once had... Oh, hang on. Stop. I didn't do the intro, so we'll do the intro and get it right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again. Okay. I once had a girl, or should I say she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian wood. back to the top. Okay, so I was just trying to think of the vibe on it as well. There's definitely, I can overdo it a bit, and I've played this many times when I play in a pub, for example. If you play this, you might keep them in for another pint if you're lucky, which is part of the job. So the feel is kind of, you push that first bit. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're almost identical and they're pushed. It's kind of, so I'll try it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, so maybe a better place to really emphasize it is on the chorus. We'll go for the D minor section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. Okay, so you might notice there I was doing a few things. I was kind of, on the G, I was doing a kind of second fret, third fret. It works if you're playing it on your own on the acoustic guitar. I'm not sure if Lennon did it. Maybe he does it once in the piece and I overdo it by doing it all the time, but it definitely works as a solo guitar arrangement, because the Beatles version, of course, they've got lots of other instruments going on. Also, on the D minor chord, I'll do a hammer on the second fret of the G. It just gives it a bit of a lift. It's quite folky, really, in a way. I just did it there on the A. But again, maybe that's overdoing it. It's up to you. You don't have to. You can just play the chords straight, the way that probably John Lennon does throughout the piece. Okay, so that's might as well just show you this if you're interested. If you're ever playing this with another person, and you want to do a kind of interesting melody at the top, I wouldn't worry too much about this if you're struggling to get the bit down at the bottom. But if you already know that and you want to get a bit more up the fret up the neck for a bit, you can basically, if you think that that's an A, and put a capo on the 5th fret, play an A shape. It's a D, because that's a D note. So I take the top 3 notes of the D chord, so there are some options there. You can flatten your second finger, or you could use your pinky like that. I think I'd flatten my finger, but other people might find it easier to use their pinky, so. But I struggle to get it in there, so. Then your pinky has got to come in, and you're just really concentrating on picking that note, really. So fret, 7th fret. And then at this point, 5th fret of the B, 7th fret of the G. You could go key, 7, so 8, 7, then back to the first chord. Or you could just use your 3rd finger to slide, which is probably what I'd do, but okay. And then at this point, to get to the last bit, you just pick that note, then the 8th fret, open B, and then you could either play that chord again, or you could go down. So that's what I do. It sounds nice. It takes a bit of getting used to and remembering. I have to remember that on the spot there, but so that's just 5th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B, open B, and that gives you plenty of time to get down to just play a normal D. One more time, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's quite a nice thing to do at the start of the song, maybe as well, a little bit more interesting, and then you could get down to that. So yeah, I mean, Lennon didn't do that, but as it's an solo acoustic arrangement, it's always nice to try and come up with some more creative things. So okay, so I think that's about it. I mean, I could play it through once. We'll play it through one time, all the way from the top. So here we go. Okay, from the top, we'll play the melody twice. Then I'll sing it. We do the verse. So we do the verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, and end. And I'll say what's coming up next if I can remember to do that as well. So here we go from the top. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Start with the intro. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Twice here, I think. Does an extra little bit there, I think. Okay, D minor. She asked me, she told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. We're going back to D minor. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep. E minor in the bath to A, and then back to the top. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. And again to end. I think it does it one more time. One more time. Okay, so that's it. And there is one little cool other thing you can do that I remembered in that. If you want it to sound more like a sitar, obviously it makes people go, oh yeah, that sounds more like the original. So all I'm doing is I'm picking as close as I can. Well, this is a gypsy jazz guitar, which sounds a bit more sitar-y anyway in nature, but I'm picking as close as I can to the bridge. Just makes it more trebly if you listen. It just gets less and less trebly, more bassy the further down you go. But like on electrics, they have the treble pickup, which they use for lead usually, and the neck pickup, which they use for rhythm, unless you're a jazz guitarist where you just only use the rhythm because you don't want it to sound harsh. So I'm trying to make it sound like a sitar now. Okay, so that's it. That's the tune. I'll make sure that I put up a nice play-along video inside the site, for you, so you've got one to play along with for sure. I've actually got one recorded that I filmed last year in France randomly. So I'm now going to unspotlight myself. If I exit full screen, unspotlight myself.
Yeah, that was a great trick. That's high, because on my guitar it really sounds. You see, it really high if you play it to the. Yeah, that's...
Exactly. Yeah, it works. Yeah. I've learned that from the gypsy players. They tend, well, gypsy manouche, the gypsies, the Sinti gypsies, of which there are a lot in Holland. They came from India, years ago, 800,000 years ago. So they've got a lot of that in their playing anyway, and they're into that kind of sound. And they often play next to this part of the guitar. A harsher kind of cut through. So it's a good trick as well if you're trying to be heard. The further this way you go, if you're in a jam session. If you want to be louder.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tony, you have to unmute yourself, Tony. I've muted everyone, so if anyone wants to say anything, just unmute yourselves. So.
Unmute myself. Yeah, that was really helpful for me. Thank you, because
pleasure, yeah.
In particular, it was just several things. First of all, I hadn't even worked out that it was 3 beats, to the bar. So so that really helped. That's a thing for me. But that idea of when you did the little run, then do the strum immediately afterwards and fill in the space. That was just a simple advice that really, really helped, because I just couldn't get in my head how to. I was trying to do it while I was playing the chord, and it was just so confusing. I'm sure a top player like yourself could probably do that, but that was really, really helpful. I loved that. It was great, really helpful.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, cheers. No, pleasure. And
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a simple song in a way. It's just getting that roll. It's that rolling vibe that.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're all stoned or something. They probably are, to be honest.
It was a bit early for that. That was 65, that one, wasn't it? So maybe.
Yeah, they just got back from India, hadn't they? So they were definitely enlightened. Right.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
It's good. And I now realize why I use the chords. It's because it's not a chord. So I'm still playing your tone, but it's easier to remember where you are. Because if you do this is just a D, D, this one is, and then if I put, if I now use the C, then so it's not a C. It's just that my fingers are in the right position for the. It makes it easier to remember. And then a sort of G, but that's just my trick. I have always trouble remembering the single notes, and I have no trouble remembering the chords.
Yeah.
So to know where the single chords are, I sometimes just put a whole chord in it and then in the right position. So that's just my thing, you know. It's easier.
But one problem is though, when you do play that, that is not in a D because it's still a D.
Yes, I know, but because
So
you don't have to. Yeah, doesn't matter. That's,
yeah, it sounded nice.
This is the explanation. It's not that you should do it, but that's why I did it. It's to remember where I am with my fingers.
And that's a nice one as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
A bit more of a.
Yeah. I often play this with somebody else, and they always they play all the high notes, so they do that.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
kind of
Yeah. Well, if we get a jam in, I'll do that.
Yes.
Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time.
Good trick.
Chris, did I hear you say that the original was actually an E, so you would use a
I
capital?
think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Tony that mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just stick a capo on the
Yeah.
on the second fret. Yeah.
I also think that you're right in the G, that he has this Paul McCartney G with the, you know, the like yesterday, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he plays because it's, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But the funny thing is, you know, he could have done either in the studio and they would have both been okay, you know, and he probably did.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not that big a deal in a way.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who knows?
It's funny when you listen to those takes that the Beatles did, you know, 10 takes of the same song, and they're all slightly different.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. When you listen to the 10, you hear the one that we all know, the famous one, you think, well, that is the best one. So funny hearing the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting with the one you didn't do, Across the Universe, because I think I read, I mean, that Let It Be album was recorded so badly at the time. And what I heard is, although they play it in, it starts with D, the tapes were somehow slowed down. So you can never play it alongside.
But I think
the song.
they did that on purpose, though, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. They did it. They were trying to be inventive. George Martin. He slowed it down on purpose.
But he'd left. Then that's the problem with Let It Be. He walked out because they brought in. They brought in. John Lennon brought in Phil Spector, and it all went all over the place. But anyway, that's a bit of history rather than.
Right. Yeah.
But overall, yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
a crazy time, 1969 was it?
You think so?
That they fell out. Yoko Ono was lying in a bag on the floor somewhere.
Everybody was fighting with anybody else.
I felt, you know, Ringo was probably like, "What's going on, lads?" Not having a good time, not wanting to take sides. Just wanted to play the drums, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even allowed half the time. Yeah. So funny.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. So, and we did Across the Universe last week, didn't we? It was, I think.
I think you did For No One. You did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, For No One. Yeah. I did it the whole week for No One. I really love that chords that you play there. That whole it goes down, you know. It's such a nice.
Yeah. They're great chords, aren't
really
they?
Great.
Yeah.
It was a nice trick.
Amazing band.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
The only thing I say is more.
What did I miss?
More of those songs.
I filmed I did one the other day. I'm in the studio again tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. And I actually filmed a nice version of, hang on, I'll find it. Where is it? I did Wild Mountain Time. That hasn't gone on the site yet, but
Oh.
I did a Beatles song. Where is it? Across the Universe. Didn't we do Across? But
No,
we did
we-
it last week, didn't we?
No,
No, Across the Universe, you've never done that.
Okay, sorry. That's bizarre.
That was for
Okay.
no one.
So I've filmed in high definition, like a big course on Across the Universe, and that's going to go on the site in the next couple of days.
okay.
Okay, that's good. I like Across the Universe. I like that one too.
What did you do last week then that I missed?
Yeah, it must have been for no one then. Yeah.
No, you did.
I was
Oh no, we did the bluegrass. We did the
You did
bluegrass.
bluegrass last
Yeah,
week.
And the week
Bluegrass,
before
yeah.
it was for no one. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
doing so many
So-
lessons. I just forget.
So
what's-
what is your plan in the how do you your lessons? 1 week something like the bluegrass, then the next week the Beatles, and then something like that, or
At the moment, there's no major plan in place, but yeah, but I'm.
We can't have guessed.
Sorry.
We can't have guessed.
Yeah, yeah. I've just been trying to kind of come up with, what should we do this week? But
No,
the plan is soon I'm going to be doing more lessons for this on Zoom lessons. I'm going to be doing once a week. I'm going to be doing a complete beginners lesson. So you probably won't want to show up for that, but I'm going to be doing like 8-week courses. So I might do 8 weeks of Robert Johnson songs at 4 o'clock, and then 8 weeks of Beatles songs at 6 o'clock or something.
okay.
And so I'm going to be teaching more, like maybe 4 hours of Zoom lessons per week, and you'll all be welcome to join them basically.
Okay.
So if it and it's going to be more structured.
Well, that would be very nice, because the thing is everybody has a different taste. So it's
Exactly.
interesting that the people who are here are more or less on the same path. That is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd like to do an 8-week gypsy jazz course, and if only 4 people show up, then great,
Yeah.
And then alongside that, I'll be doing an 8-week blues thing, kind of like what I do in Shrewsbury at there's a cafe called the Coffee House. For many years, I was teaching these courses until COVID on Tuesday nights, and it would be 8 weeks of Clapton stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and people kind of are into, some people can't stand bluegrass, so but I like it, so I'll do a bluegrass course, and if only 5 people turn up, and then if I do an Oasis course, 100 people will turn up. I'm not going to be doing an Oasis course, don't worry.
Yeah.
But you know the idea. So that's going to be starting in the coming, probably in the next month or so.
Okay.
I need to
good.
just get that organised, because it's going to be a bit more work. But I realise, I need to be a bit more structured with it, because we've only been going for a couple of months,
It's been
right? So
great. It's been great.
I'm just finding my feet, and you were in at the start, Hein. Maybe you were the first one, maybe.
Yeah.
Hein joined because I had his shoes, Tony. That's the.
All right.
That was the only reason. Now they are here.
Yeah, now he's got them.
Let's get shoes. There you go.
Yeah,
All over.
the Walking Blues.
Yeah.
So there's one, the Walking Blues. I was listening to Robert Johnson today, and I was thinking, it'd be nice to do some slide, So just so if I did 8 weeks of Robert Johnson songs, then week 6 could involve a slide, and it's also easier for me to advertise it. Or, if I have specific courses that people can dip in and out of, and also suggest, if people have some suggestions, it's just. I love it because I learn too, That's how I recommend teaching if you want to learn seriously. Any level, just as long as they're a little bit below you, you'll be fine,
Now I really, because as you know, I already have 2 years in a row. I got your blues lessons in Brittany, so that's that's enough for me, because but the things like that you're doing now, like show me tricks how to play the Norwegian Wood and the For No One, etc. The songs that I do almost every week, and then give it some extras, so that is really something that I'm looking forward to, because you always kind of get stuck into what you know instead of aiming a little bit higher. You know, and you are someone who can show us, you know, this is even better. You know, you can play this, but you can also, you know, like that kind of lessons I really like.
Great. Yeah. So, for example, you know, I'll be doing an 8-week Beatles course or an 8-week, you know, even Dylan. It would be good to do a Dylan course.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great
Oh, you
stuff.
can do any Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Some of the finger style stuff.
I do a lot of that, but
These are all
there are
things.
lots of tricks in it.
Definitely, And
Yeah.
I've never done a Simon and Garfunkel song. The good thing about the reason it's good for Zoom rather than the main site is the copyright. It's hard to. I can't put tabs down on the site. I can teach it, but I can't give you the notation. If I start doing that, then they can, quite rightly, they can sue me for selling their music. But I can teach it like this.
Yeah.
On Zoom.
Is that also the case if you just do it for us? Because if you don't allow anybody to look at it, just your pupils, then there is no copyright issue.
Well, no, because if they find out that I'm giving
for us.
Yeah, I know, but still, I can't. You know, it's all fine. I've looked into it massively.
Oh, okay.
So this is okay. Doing this is okay.
Yeah.
But, selling kind of, if I were to put it on a site and say, "Hey, come and learn how to play." Yesterday, here are the. I can actually put the chords up, but I can't put the notes up.
Yeah.
So So, but you know, it's all fine. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
Cheers.
I've got to head off, so I'll see you next week then. Same time, same channel. Brilliant. Thanks a lot for that.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
See you all next
Look
week.
forward to it. Take care.
Cheers, guys.